not busy, I'd like to take you with me wherever I go. I have a perfect voting record from organizations like the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, and all the other veteran service organizations is because of my support of them. But you can go ahead and respond if you want to. Go ahead, give him the microphone.
I'll respond by saying this, that you do not have a perfect voting record by the DIV and the VFW. That's where these votes are recorded. And the votes were proposals by your colleagues in the Senate to increase health care funding of the VA in 2003, 4, 5, and 6 for troops returning from Iraq and Afghanistan. And you voted against those proposals. I can give the specific Senate votes, the numbers of those Senate votes, right now.
Well, I thank you, and I'll be glad to examine what your version of my record is. But again, I've been endorsed in every election by all of the veterans organizations that do that. I've been supported by them, and I've received their highest awards from all of those organizations. So I guess they don't know something you know. So
everybody that has had the opportunity to talk to you is what we all seeking from you. And don't you ever, once you become a president, and say, well, I was forced to raise the taxes.
So, will you respond to how you're going to restore the rule of law in the Constitution?
I'll be more than happy to examine that petition as I try to examine every petition by citizens to their government. But also let me point out on FISA, I believe that it was very dangerous to, in my view, to hold the telecommunications corporations liable for them acting in cooperation with the government after 9/11 to help us monitor the communications of Al-Qaeda and terrorists. So obviously you and I have a very different opinion on that issue.
We all do.
And so let me just say to you right now, I believe that the telecommunications company or any other organization, when called upon by their government to do something that is in the national security interest, that they should not be held responsible.
You tax us when we're born. You tax us when we're dead. You tax us when we eat. You tax us when we sleep. You tax us every which way. Get off of my back!
We come from all over the country to receive services in the community. Will you sign on to support the Community Choice Act?
I will not, because I don't think that it's the right kind of legislation. I am proud to have been one of the many people who was involved with the original Americans with Disabilities Act. And we will continue to update it and upgrade and improve as needed. The Community Choice Act is not a piece of legislation that I support.
Recently, you did not vote on the most recent Medicare bill that decreased doctors' reimbursement. How are you going to explain to 30 million Medicare patients that will no longer be seen by doctors because doctors are not being reimbursed at the rate that it costs my Toyota to have a regular service?
I want to tell them that the Medicare system is broken. The unfunded liability. In other words, you hear the words unfunded liability. The fact is, it's your debt.
We want you to do all of this. It's not possible. What is it? Is that the Americans have gone to sleep? They have gotten fatter. They have gotten sloppy. That's what it is. And they have gotten into the munchie every which way you go. They're eating, they're sleeping, and they want everything handed to them.
This lower tax on a state is supposed to expire around, I think it's the end of 2010, as I recall. My friends, if that is allowed to expire, I'm afraid there might be a lot of unexplained deaths on December 31st or September 30th or whatever it is. And I'm not pointing out mothers-in-law, but that's from a humanitarian reason. We sure don't want to see a dramatic increase in the death taxes.
On Friday, February 12th, 1999, you stated, and I quote, "Presidents are not ordinary citizens. They are extraordinary in that they are vested with so much authority, so much more authority and power than the rest of us. We have a right, indeed, we have an obligation to hold them strictly accountable to the rule of law." You said that in reference to articles of impeachment of Bill Clinton, which you voted in favor of. My question is, meanwhile, 2 weeks ago, you were in Ohio and you told a concerned citizen that you did not agree with articles of impeachment of President Bush. So my question is, why should 35 articles of impeachment that Dennis Kucinich has on the table for high crimes and misdemeanors be treated with any less urgency and authority than a mindless and pathetic sexual scandal?
Thank you. I don't believe I do not believe that an effort to impeach the President of the United States is appropriate or necessary or called for.
It is time to